Welcome back everyone, my name is Sagar and today in this video I will show you the new pane layouts in Jetpack Compose. So with these you can create adaptive UI for tablet and larger screens. So this is my dummy UI. Here I have a list pane and here is the detail of that particular list object. So right now I have not selected any list object, that's why it is showing select any user. And if I am clicking on user ID 5, then it is showing me detail of user 5. So left side is list pane and right side is detail pane. And if I click on profile of user, then another pane will open up and that is called as extra pane. So these panes are only visible with a larger screen, and if you are only working with a small screen, then these panes will work as a particular screen. Like here you can see this is the profile pane, that is here profile screen. I can navigate back, that is the detail pane or detail screen, and I can navigate back more, and this is my list pane or list screen. So if you are also expecting the same behavior, then watch the video till the end. So as always, we'll start by adding some dependencies. So you gotta add these adaptive navigation and adaptive navigation suite. So I will drop the link of this repository down in the description, so you can get these dependencies and just use the versions which are latest to you. And the main motive of this video is to show you how these are basically gonna work, because right now it is in alpha and beta, and for the alpha channel it might change in future, but the basic functionality will be the same. You have to pass a main layout, you have to pass a detail layout or extra layout. Let's not call it layout, we will call it pane, because they are officially calling it that. So here we have everything set up, and now let's start creating. So for that list detail pane layout, we have two composables: navigable, there you can see navigable list detail pane scaffold, and we also have another one for that. I'll show you. First let us add this. So there you can see there are 3 mandatory parameters, and also with that we have one extra pane parameter that we can add for our extra detail screen. So the main component here is this navigator. So let's create it. You can just use remember list detail pane scaffold navigator. Okay, and here it is showing us error, first of all because it is experimental, and we can also pass here the generic type, and that will be the data class. That should be parcelable data class. So remember that the data class, whatever you are passing, should be parcelable. And what is the use of it? So that should be what you are passing between your list pane and detail pane. So suppose in my case I will be passing a user ID from my list pane to my detail pane. That will be string. And you can also pass any custom data objects, but remember that should be parcelable. So I will pass this navigator here, and let me quickly add the UI. Okay, here is our UI. This is our main pane. That will be our first list screen. In our list detail pane scaffold, that should be a lazy column. And then we have our detail pane. So detail pane will show any list item in detail. And then we have our extra pane. So that will be, for example, I am showing the detail of my detail screen. For example, in WhatsApp, you might see in desktop, if you are already chatting with someone and you click on their profile, so a secondary pane will open up that will show you the user detail. Okay, so this pane is for that. And normally in desktop you will only see 2 panes. One is detail pane, the user you are chatting with, and then this list pane, the list of all your users. And here it is showing error because for this navigable list detail pane scaffold we have to use here any. I'll show you why I wrote here string. Okay, so let me fix the errors. So what is this main pane? Normal lazy column where I'm showing the 50 items, user ID 0 to 49, and on click I am passing the user ID. That is here just the index. And on click I am using this thing, navigator dot navigate to, and then I have to pass the pane, which pane I have to navigate. So the spelling of pane is PANE, not PAIN. And here the parameter is list detail pane scaffold role dot detail. And if you see, you will see 3 options: extra, detail, and list. So here we have to go to detail, and in the content we can directly pass the content whatever we have to navigate with. That is basically the data. So I'm getting the user ID and I am passing it as data. And in my detail pane I can directly access it with my navigator dot current destination dot content. and here I got the ID, but that is not necessary that the user have always selected one ID. So there will be always a condition that the parameter, the current content will be null. So if you see here, this ID will be always nullable, because once you are just open your WhatsApp, you are not directly chatting with anyone. You will have an empty screen, and once you click on any list item, then you will open the chat with that particular user, right? So that's why at initial point it will be null. And here I am using a crossfade to change between the null thing. So when it is null, I am showing the select any user, and when it is not null, I am directly using this details pane. So the same thing is here. I am clicking on a button, and then I am navigating to this extra pane, and this will be also nullable. So if ID is not null, then I am showing the extra pane, and extra pane will be only visible when you are clicking on anything in your details pane. So this is it. Now let me run. Okay, so you can see here I am having a large screen, and this is what you will see similar layout in your WhatsApp thing or any chat application. There will be the list of all users, and in the right side there will be a chatting screen. So here we have our detail screen, and this is our list pane, and this is what we call is detail pane. And right now we have not selected any user, so that's why it is showing select any user, because we have that condition. And if I click on user ID 4, then it is showing me detail of user ID 4. And if I am clicking on this profile of user, then it will show me a separate pane. That is just our extra pane. Okay, so you can just add anything in our extra pane, and right now it is only possible to add it on the right side, but hopefully if this thing is in stable mode, then we can have a customization option for this. But you got the idea how this is gonna work. You will have multiple panes, and you can show it in your UI. And remember this thing, this will not be the behavior in our normal screen. This was our large screen, and that's why we were able to see 2 panes. But in our small screens, we will not see 2 panes. We will only see 1 screen and 1 pane. So this is our extra pane, because we were seeing the user profile, and if we click back, then user detail, and again back, then we will see the users list. That will be our list pane. All right, and you can optionally add this thing also. If you see, let me close the tablet. So you can add this back handler. I hope now it is more visible. So you can add this back handler, and this will be only active when we can go back, and when we can go back, then we will navigate back with our navigator. This is for our normal screen sizes, because we are in list pane, then we are in detail pane, and from here in this screen, this will be true. Navigator.can navigate back. So this was true, and that's why if we press on back, then we will go to the detail list pane. So this functionality might improve in future, and you might not need this, but right now this is how you should do it. Okay, and another composable for this list detail pane is list detail pane scaffold. You don't need to use that navigable prefix. And here now we cannot pass navigator, but what should we pass? A directive and a value. So let me add the directive. So directive will be navigator dot scaffold directive, and we also need to pass a value. So what will be the value? So that will also come with navigator scaffold value, and that's it. It is gonna work exactly same. Okay, and one more thing. Okay, and if you see in our large screen, if you press on anything, and if you are opening a pane, so that is instant, so there is no animation. So you can add the animations with animated pane, and you can just put your content inside of it. And right now if I am running this, it is crashing for me, and that might be because of because here I am using Kotlin 2.0, and I watched a Philip video, and it is working for him. So I hope if you are using the compatible version of Kotlin and Compose compiler, then it might also work for you. Let me know in the comment if it is working or not. So right now I will remove this from here, and now let me show you another pane layout. So this is our list detail pane, and if we are looking for any other pane, so there is a normal pane layout, and there is this supporting pane scaffold, and this is for the screens like you have YouTube. So there is a main content that is on large screen, and there is a suggested content on the right side. So that is the supported content, and that will be only visible in your larger screens. So here we have the main pane, and then we have the supporting pane. That's it. This thing also, remember, supporting pane scaffold navigator. And for these things we can use the custom object like string. So now that will work. If you are using the navigable prefix, then this custom object will not work. But for this supporting pane scaffold or our list detail pane scaffold, if you are passing our custom object, then it will work. And now this will be a type safe navigation, and here we will get the object whatever we are defining it here. Okay, there you can see now the size of our left pane has increased drastically, and that is because this is our main content, and this thing is now supporting content only. So if you are selecting anything, then it will show up in our detail content, or here it is just a supporting content, and you should not show any major details inside this supporting content. Supporting pane, because you should know where you should use the supporting pane scaffold or where you should use the list detail pane scaffold. This is for just showing the suggestions in large screen, but if you are rotating your device and there is a small screen, then the supporting content will never be visible. There you can see if I am clicking on any object, any list item, then nothing is happening. Okay, I am clicking on the user 14, and if I am rotating, the screen size is increased, and now the supporting pane will be visible. There you can see detail of user 14. Here it should be supporting user 14. And if you want the extra pane, then this left pane will not be gone. This right pane will be replaced. You can see now this is the profile of user 14. And I hope you understood the requirement. If your main content is on the left side, then you should use supporting pane scaffold, because right side will be only a supporting pane. And if you want the list and then the detail of the single item in that list, so then that time you should use a list pane scaffold, list detail pane scaffold. So if you press back, then you will come back to this detail of user 13. You can use this in for example YouTube like applications, or any e-commerce application where you are seeing the main product, and on the right side you can show the suggested products. But remember, for small screens it will be not visible. So I hope you learned something new in this video. If yes, then make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Do subscribe, it will motivate me. So thank you for watching.